Hello everyone, welcome back to this series on programming robot mechanics. So in this video, we are going to start with rigid body transformations. Now transformations first of all, we will go over the theory of this rigid body transformations, and then we will start with the actual code part. A little bit theory, we will not delve so much into the mathematics because we are more interested in writing the code for this. Okay, so now, what are these rigid transformations? Like, in order to know the position of the robot, or we can say the end effector of the robot in space, we need to know its position as well as orientation. Now, position can be described as this point, but the orientation is required so that we can know in which direction is the robot facing. Well, knowing this information is important. For instance, for a pick and place task, we can have an object that we know the position of, and we also need to know the position of the end effector to make it actually able to get to that object that we have. So that's why it is important. Now, there are two main components to this transformation matrix, and this is rotation and translation. Now, what translation can do for us is, if we have a coordinate system, like we can say this is the origin of the coordinate system. Well, in robotics applications, we usually take one base frame for the coordinate transformations, like that is the base, the world frame, we can say, and we describe every other frame with respect to that. So in this case, let's assume that we have this base frame as A. We can translate it like adding X, Y, and Z parameters. We can translate this coordinate frame into this B frame. And then to orient the frame, to give it a direction, we can then rotate it along any of these axes, like X, Y, and Z. Well, we'll come to that, the more details later, but this is the overall main two components. And these two components are the ones that we will be implementing. So we'll directly come to the formula. Like, the translation is an easy part. We just need to add X, Y, and Z that we are given. That will be simple. For the rotation part, we are actually going to have three matrices that are actually multiplied together. Now, one of these matrices is rotation along the x-axis, rotation along the y-axis, and rotation along the z-axis. From the order of these rotations is something like z, y, and x in this order. Well, it is a conventional thing, so we can take any convention we want, but to set a standard convention, we can take it Z, Z, Y, and X. So these are the transformation matrices for these are independently described for Z, Y, and X. Okay, now once we have the rotation as well as the translation, in order to describe both of them in a single matrix, we can use this representation. What it does is, we have this rotation part. We have this rotation part in the top left corner, and the position related part in the right hand corner. And we will have a 1 over here and 3 zeros here. Now, what this homogeneous transformation does is, if we have a vector, we know like a position vector, we can directly multiply this to get the position after applying rotation and transformation and translation. So this makes computations really easy, like just a simple matrix multiplication. That's all. Yeah, like X, Y, and Z are in the right over here. This is the complete rotation matrix, and this is the 0, 0, 1. Okay, so this is the whole theory part that we need to discuss, and now we'll get on with the code. Okay, so for the code part, we're actually going to have these 6 functions. So we can have pretty complex structure of the code, but we're going to keep it simple. We're just going to define these 6 functions, and yeah. So what each of these functions is going to do is, like the translation one, this is going to return us a transformation, a 4 homogeneous matrix that describes the translation of an object given X, Y, and Z. And what this RPY to TR is going to do, given roll, pitch, and yaw angles, like the roll, pitch, and yaw, rotation along X, Y, and Z, and it's going to return a transformation matrix from that. This function TR to RPY is going to take a transformation matrix and return the roll, pitch, and yaw. The rotation X, rotation Y, and rotation Z functions, these are going to return us a 3x3, the rotation matrix that we discussed before. These three rotation matrices. Now, you may have guessed it already if you have some background with code, programming, that we're going to use these three functions in this RPY to TR. So yeah, as a helper function. So let's start with the code. First, we're going to import NumPy as NP. Now this is just a placeholder. We will now be referring to NumPy as NP. Okay. So the first function that I'm thinking we should have is, now transformation matrix is, okay, I think we can deal with that. Okay. Let's first define the translation function. Now what this is going to take is the X, Y, and Z. Let's add some. So we have these X, Y, and Z. What I'm going to do is now np.I, it will return. Now what this np.I does is it will return an identity matrix to us. Now this will make us, yeah, once we have this, we can just simply plug in the values that we want. Now, so this is the structure of an identity matrix that we're going to get. Will be something like this. Now, this is very similar to the transformation matrix that we are going to get. So when there is zero rotation, like we just need to translate an object, the value for the rotation matrix is simply this 3x3 matrix. Well, why is this? Because the rotation matrices, they consist of sines and cosines of the angles. So once we put in zero value and all these, we just get this matrix. Well, this is just an identity matrix. This means we do not need to apply any rotation to our object. So what we can do is we are going to plug in X, Y, and Z over here. And this is what it's going to return. So that's what we're going to do. Now we have this value. Let's keep it over here. Next up, we are going to have this rot X, rot Y, and rot Z. Now, we can have some structure that will just take a value, like a general structure for X, Y, or Z, but I think it will be better if we have different functions, because for the rotation matrices, we are going to have different matrices. Like for Z rotation, we are going to have a matrix in this form, and for Y and for Z, for X. Now, now there are two ways that we can actually think of doing it. It can actually be like defining individual function for each of these, or it can be defining a single one like this and single matrix like this, and given, yeah, I think we can just do the simple ones, like an individual function for each of these. Okay, then let's do this. Now, to have rotation functions, and we need to define rot X, and for rot X, for the rotation in X, we call it a roll angle, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a roll angle over here. Add some documentation to it. Matrix. Well, this transformation matrix that defines all the translation and the rotation both in one matrix, it's also called an SE3 rotation space, rotation group or rotation space, and this matrix that this rotation matrix that is a 3x3 matrix. It's called an SO of 3 rotation space. Well, I've not really studied about them, but it's something that we can study more about. Now, once again, we are going to have a similar type of code over here. We are going to have an identity matrix defined for us. And what we will be having is the one is already over here. Cosine, sine, sine, cosine. I think I'll just shift it to another screen over here so that I can refer to it. Okay. And for the rotation, yeah, there is nothing in this column. It's going to be cosine. Now I'll be using the cosine function from NumPy that they have provided. Now we can just copy it because the other two functions are going to be very, very similar to this. So the next function that we'll be coding is RPY to TR. Now what this function does is RPY to TR. Now we need the roll, pitch, and yaw angles to generate a transformation matrix. Now, how we will be going to do it is we are going to use these three functions in that RPY to TR function. So let's see what we can do for that. Okay, so what we can have is, let's just first get the three rotation matrices that we have. So yeah, let's just call them rotation Z. Yeah, rod Z, and we need the yaw angle. Let's have rotation Y, rod Y. We can add the pitch, and rotation X. We can have rod X. Okay. Now we have these. Okay. For the NumPy, for the matrix multiplication, what NumPy offers us is we just need to do this. So for the rotation part, we can simply have rotation Z at the rate rotation Y at the rate rotation X. This will give us return the rotation matrix. And have something like this. There we have a 4x4 matrix, and we can deal it in this way. Now it's going to select the 3x3 area. I think it's going to select the 3x3 area, but we're going to be checking it and then assign it the rotation and then return the transformation part. Okay. So one thing that we can do to check it is just clear run terminal. Okay, so we can go to Python and import NumPy as NP. Okay, so let's have this transformation matrix like np.eye that we have 4. Now we know 4 is something like this, and let's have a equals np.I 3. Let's multiply that by 3 and add a 1. Let's see what we have. Now it's a big matrix. Now what we can do to check is 3 and take in this 3 times A. Yeah, it does work. So this technique will work. So we can just have this over here. Okay, good enough. And yeah, yes, it looks good. Now we can define the next function. And I think this is the last function for us to implement in this video. That is transformation to RPY. So let's do that. So the formula for this thing is, well, given a transformation matrix, we can easily derive this rotation matrix from the transformation matrix. And the formulas to calculate different angles are taking the tangent inverse of two specific rotation matrices. And yeah, tangent inverse of different values in the matrix. I think we can use np.arctan for this purpose, and I think we're going to be using that. So what we can do is, given we can just like we can did the assignment over here, we can extract the rotation matrix in a similar way. Okay, now we have that. Okay, so we are done with the functions that we were intended to do. Now, testing this, we can actually test this if they work. Yeah, we can test how they are working. Let's just name it main.py. Okay, now we have all these functions written in this main file, and we're going to run. Okay, we are already over here, and we'll activate our virtual environment. Let's go to part 2 and Python main.py to see if everything is working or not. Okay. Just big. Okay, so the first function did give us 1, 2, 3 that we wanted, rot x. Now what we can do is we can go and check the values over here. Now rot x function is going to cosine of gamma. Cosine of gamma, and we enter 90 degrees. It's going to be 0 and it's going to be 1. Yeah, it is 0 and it is 1, right? And we entered something similar for rotation y, cosine of 90, 0, right? And yeah, it looks good. And rotation z, we have, okay, right. And again, RPY to transform, we entered 90, 90, 90. So let's just compare it with this. Cosine of, yeah, it's going to be 0 over here, 0. Yeah, pretty much everywhere it's going to be 0. Pretty much. Yeah, and this -1 over here. Right. Yeah, so we are now, okay, return. Now we have an error over here. Okay, so the main error was we need to use np.arctan2. Apparently there are two different functions for this. Like there is some subtle difference between these two, but for our purpose, we need to use arctan2. Right now, if we run it, I think it will give us right answer. Yeah, 1.57, 1.57, 1.7. So yeah, it's tested now. Okay, now there are two more ways that we can move forward with this. They can be developing unit tests for this module that we worked on today, or and we can work on simulating these. Like, yeah, just having numbers to work with isn't really interesting. Having some simulations and rotation matrices to see, they are going to be more interesting than these number-based formats. So let's see what we have in the next video. So yeah, let's see what we have in the next video. So thank you for watching, and bye.